One of the things that was really impressive to me about this presentation was the format that Kemy uses is extremely engaging, more engaging than probably any speaker we've ever had in these events. And to facilitate an intimate conversation and to engage that many people in a room and get them really thinking about themselves and interacting with each other even is challenging. And Kemy does a great job using a bunch of different Zoom tools, breakout rooms, lots of questions in the chat, and even calling on participants live to share their thoughts and their feelings in the call made it feel more like a discussion than a lecture. We had people in the room who I know are normally on their phones in a meeting and getting distracted and browsing other things, and feedback after the event from them was that they were locked in, like 100% engaged, talking to each other in the chat, thumbs upping, plus oneing things that people were saying. I've already seen people quote things that popped up in the chat later in our Slack group. As far as organizations and larger groups having a conversation like this, Kemy's amazing at bringing people in and making them feel seen in the room and keeping people engaged all the way through. We run a network of venture capitalists who want to try and do business differently in Silicon Valley and other tech hubs across the US and Canada. And one of our biggest concerns about diversity and prejudice before Kemy's workshop was that everyone might not be on the same page about what this looks like within their firms and their portfolios. And another concern was that some people might not even have started a conversation like this before or thought about their role in driving change within the communities. Our network has a lot of power, and for us, this was an opportunity to get the people we work with to recognize their power and to imagine ways to use it for good. I think the way that Kemy frames this conversation gives people and gave myself insight into where do I have power and where do I have privilege, but using the framework of seeing which level of society and culture we actually have an impact in and recognizing our place within sort of a greater community took this conversation from something more theoretical and big picture to something that felt actionable within the places that we as VCs and as coaches of leaders in the startup community, for example, in our community, could actually start to implement and act on some of these ideas in our own lives and our businesses. One of the biggest differences in this meeting versus other ones for us was the engagement in the format really did lend itself to a larger group. I know a lot of conversations we've been having recently with other venture capitalists and head of platform folks wanting to share messages or information with their founders and with LPs and other investors. It's difficult in an online format when people are on Zoom meetings all day, every day. A presentation like Kemy's totally breaks up the monotony of the Zoom scene that we're all in now. Zoom fatigue is real, and there's nothing fatiguing about this format. It's completely immersive and engaging and feels really special and personal. For anyone who's considering bringing this conversation to their organization, I think that there's a lot of options out there now that weren't there before. And I still haven't seen anything like this before or felt anything like this in an online format. And this conversation that Kemy facilitated really did get people in our community to think about a topic, prejudice, that they've thought about before in a different way, brought it into a space that felt actionable within the work that we're currently doing as investors. And that was extremely powerful for opening up future conversations in our network and getting people to get excited about having more of these conversations in the future.